One of those beloved sitcoms that seemed to capture everyone's hearts was Gilligan's Island. It revolved around 5 passengers, a skipper, and a first mate who embarked on a 3-hour tour. Unfortunately, their boat ran aground, leaving them stranded on an island. The cast included Bob Denver, Allan Hale Jr., Jim Backus, Natalie Schafer, Russell Johnson, Tina Louise, and Dawn Wells. Explore what they pursued in their careers after the show concluded. While many have since passed away, it's important to honor their talents and remember their contributions to the entertainment industry. Let's delve into it. 1. Allan Hale Jr. as Jonas the Skipper Grumby. He portrayed Captain Jonas Grumby, commonly known as the Skipper. He served as the proprietor and commander of the vessel, balancing a tough exterior with a gentle heart. Following the show's success, he launched a dining establishment in Los Angeles named the Crab Shack. In 1931, Hale made his debut on Broadway in Soaked to the Bone. The production premiered on November 4th and concluded later that month. His first appearance on screen was in Reckless Lads of the Road, released in 1933. Despite his role being edited out from the final cut, he still received credit for his performance. Subsequently, he secured roles in films like Shore Leave, 1942, Sailors Ahoy, 1943, Beloved Sweetheart of Sigma Chi, 1946, and Homecoming, 1950. Throughout the late 1940s and early 1950s, he frequently appeared in features alongside Gene Autry and had a recurring role from 1950 to 1952 on Autry's eponymous television series. Hale was married twice. His initial union took place on March 12, 1943 in Hollywood with Bettina Reed Doer, with whom he had 4 children, Alan Bryan, Chris, Lana, and Dorian. However, the couple later parted ways. In 1964, Hale wedded former vocalist Naomi Grace Ingram, with whom he remained united until his passing. On January 2, 1990, Hale succumbed to thymus cancer at St. Vincent Medical Center in Los Angeles at the age of 68. His remains were cremated and his ashes were scattered into the Pacific Ocean. Dawn Wells, his fellow cast member from Gilligan's Island, attended the ceremony, representing the surviving members of the ensemble. In recognition of his contributions to the television landscape, Allan Hale Jr. was honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, located at 6653 Hollywood Boulevard. 2. Natalie Schafer as Mrs. Lovey Howell. Even before her role on Gilligan's Island, Natalie found herself cast as an elegant sophisticate hailing from a privileged background. Schafer likely drew inspiration from her own appreciation for luxury as she initially agreed to appear in the pilot episode of Gilligan's Island simply for the opportunity to travel to Hawaii. Interestingly, she eventually tied the knot with actor Louis Calhern, who also frequently portrayed affluent, upper-class characters. However, their marriage ended in divorce 9 years later. Schafer's life mirrored her on-screen persona in many ways, as she amassed considerable wealth through astute real estate investments, amassing millions of dollars. Despite her financial success, she maintained an air of mystery surrounding her age, preferring to keep it deliberately vague. In fact, her contract for Gilligan's Island stipulated no close-up shots, as she was actually 13 years older than her on-screen husband, Jim Backus. Portraying Thurston Howell III's wife, a character reliant on her husband's wealth, Schafer began her career on Broadway before transitioning to film. Following her stint on Gilligan's Island, Natalie made guest appearances on various television shows, including Mayberry RFD and The Brady Bunch. Schafer was previously married to actor Louis Calhern from 1933 to 1942, although they did not have any children. The couple shared the screen in the 1956 film Forever Darling. Tragically, Natalie succumbed to cancer at the age of 90 in 1991, bequeathing her substantial fortune to her Gilligan's Island co-star, Dawn Wells, to ensure the well-being of her beloved dogs. At the time of her passing, Schaefer was survived by her longtime companion Maurice Hill, as confirmed by a spokesperson for her family. 3. Tina Louise as Ginger Grant. Tina embarked on her acting journey in 1955 and 58, earning acclaim and even clinching the Golden Globe for Most Promising Newcomer for her stellar performance in God's Little Acre. Demonstrating her versatility, she also ventured into music, releasing an album in 1957 titled It's Time for Tina, which featured collaborations with renowned saxophonist Coleman Hawkins. Her exceptional beauty did not go unnoticed, as she was bestowed the title of the world's most beautiful redhead by the National Art Council just a year later, captivating male audiences far and wide. Portraying the glamorous movie star Ginger on Gilligan's Island, Tina charmed her fellow castaways and viewers alike with her entertaining antics. Although she did not participate in any of the Gilligan's Island spin-offs or sequels, Tina remains active in the entertainment industry, with her most recent appearance in the film Tapestry alongside Stephen Baldwin. Following her tenure on Gilligan's Island, she graced screens in notable productions such as The Stepford Wives and made guest appearances on popular television shows, including 3 episodes of Ships. Be sure to check out our Ships Cast Then and Now video if you haven't already. Taking a brief hiatus from her career in the 2000s, Tina, now thriving at 90 years old, continues to captivate audiences. An esteemed member of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences and a lifelong participant of the Actors Studio, Tina has fervently advocated for the enhancement of child literacy. She generously contributed a portion of the proceeds from her 2007 book, When I Grow Up, to support literacy programs and shared in a 2013 interview her long-standing commitment to volunteering at local public schools since 1996. 4. Jim Backus as Thurston Howell, III. One predicament that even wealth cannot resolve is finding oneself marooned on an island. Thurston Howell III learned this lesson firsthand. He portrayed a wealthy individual who realized that his riches were of no use in escaping the island. Backus was also recognized for lending his voice to the character Mr. Magoo. During the 30s and 40s, Backus was predominantly heard on the radio, where he garnered popularity. However, his voice gained even more renown in 1949 with his portrayal of Mr. Magoo. Interestingly, there were parallels between Magoo and Thurston Howell III. Both characters were exceedingly affluent, yet found themselves embroiled in predicaments that money could not resolve. For Thurston, the source of trouble was often Gilligan. As for Magoo, his nearsightedness led to numerous misadventures. Perhaps it was time for Mr. Magoo to update his prescription. Backus also appeared in notable films such as Rebel Without a Cause, portraying James Dean's character's father, and Don't Bother to Knock alongside Marilyn Monroe. Beyond the silver screen, Backus showcased his prowess on the golf course, excelling as a golfer. In his later years, Backus ventured into writing and authored an autobiography titled Forgive Us Our Digressions with his spouse. He passed away from pneumonia in 1989 at the age of 76. 5. Dawn Wells as Mary Ann Summers. Mary Ann was undeniably one of the characters you'd want to be marooned with on the island. The ongoing debate of Ginger or Mary Ann was a playful banter among fans. Mary Ann's culinary skills and wise counsel made her indispensable to the castaways. She embodied goodness, wholesomeness, and encouragement, always ready with a comforting word or a delicious meal improvised from the island's resources. While her dream of becoming a ballerina remained unfulfilled, fate had other plans, leading Wells to a remarkable career on both screen and stage. Subsequently, she graced numerous film and television productions, alongside a thriving theatrical journey. Wells also dedicated herself to teaching, acting, and establishing a fashion line catering to individuals with disabilities named Wishing Wells Collections. In her later years, she bravely battled dementia before succumbing to COVID-19-related complications in December 2020 at the age of 82. Her legacy as Mary Ann will be cherished, and she will be dearly missed. 6. Russell Johnson as Professor Roy Hinckley. High school science educator Roy Hinckley, famously known as the Professor, assumed the role after the initial actor, John Gabriel, was deemed too youthful for the extensive knowledge and expertise the Professor character required. Johnson's journey to stardom began with remarkable achievements, notably as an aviation cadet in the U.S. Air Force. Serving in the Pacific Theater during World War II, he piloted World and the Jeffersons. Regrettably, he passed away in 2014 due to kidney disease, at the age of 89. 7. Eddie Little Sky as Native. Indigenous peoples is the general term for the native tribes inhabiting the vicinity of the island within small island nations of Polynesian and Papuan descent near the castaways' location. These tribes adhere to various belief systems, potentially venerating deified ancestors, and observe rituals that include cannibalism, headhunting, and practices akin to the voodoo ceremonies of the Caribbean Sea. After his involvement in the 1955 movie Chief Crazy Horse, Audie Murphy inspired Little Sky to pursue a career in acting. Consequently, Little Sky, alongside Jay Silverheels and Chief Dan George, emerged as pioneers in portraying Native American characters in films. Typically, Hollywood casts white actors wearing dark wigs and makeup to portray Native American roles. Little Sky's television debut occurred in 1957 on the show Cheyenne in an episode titled The Iron Trail. Upon retiring from the film industry in the late 1970s, he assumed the role of director at the Oglala Lakota Tribal Parks and Recreation Authority. He wed Dawn Gates, later known as Dawn Little Sky, who also pursued acting, and the couple raised 5 children. Eddie Little Sky passed away on September 5, 1997, at the age of 71 in Pennington County, South Dakota, due to lung cancer. He was laid to rest at the Little's Flat Family Cemetery in Oglala, South Dakota. 8. Vito Scotti as Dr. Boris Balanov. Dr. Boris Balanov is a peculiar mad scientist residing in a fortress on an island situated near the castaways. His only companions include his servant, Igor, and his pet parrot, Timothy. Balanov has attempted to involve the castaways in his eccentric on June 29, 1969, and remained married until his passing on March 13, 1974. Tragically, Prohaska and his son Robert were among the 36 individuals who lost their lives in the crash of a chartered Sierra Airlines Convair CV-440 aircraft near Bishop, California. The crash occurred on March 13, 1974 at 8:28 p.m. while filming the ABC Wolper Productions television series Primal Man. Despite investigations, the exact cause of the crash remains undetermined. Prohaska's ashes were laid to rest in the mausoleum at Woodlawn Memorial Cemetery, Santa Monica. 11. Bob Denver as Gilligan. He portrayed the endearing and often naive Gilligan. Bob Denver rose to prominence in Hollywood with a leading role in The Many Loves of Dobie Gillis, where he portrayed the iconic Maynard G. Krebs, television's first beatnik. The show was groundbreaking for featuring teenagers as its main characters, a rarity at the time. However, this presented a challenge for Bob, as legendary Gilligan creator Sherwood Schwartz envisioned a stumbling, innocent character, unlike Maynard. Fortunately, Bob's meeting with Schwartz allowed him to showcase his charm and suitability for the role. He was also recognized for his roles in The Good Guys and Dusty's Trail. Additionally, Bob made appearances as Gilligan or himself in numerous series throughout his career. Later on, he established himself as a radio personality. Throughout it all, Denver and his wife Driama remained committed to giving back through their Denver Foundation, which supported families with special needs. What a commendable legacy. Sadly, he passed away in 2005 at the age of 70 due to pneumonia. From the lovable Skipper to the charming Mary Ann, their talents and personalities endeared them to audiences worldwide. And though they may no longer be with us, their contributions to television will forever be cherished. Here's to the cast of Gilligan's Island. May they always be remembered.